This is the video for Unit 6, Lesson 13, where we'll be able to calculate simple interest. And we're going to define that after we go through this Think About It. It says, Margot goes to the bank and opens a savings account by depositing $400. The bank said it would give Margot 5% of the initial amount she deposited every year as a way of saying thank you for choosing their bank. How much money would the bank give her after 1 year? So we're going to look at this sentence right here that says 5% of the initial amount she deposited every year. We know if we make our annotations, we know that we're doing multiplication since it says of. So we're going to do 5% of the initial amount, which it says she put in $400. So 5% of $400. And it says that we need to do this for every year. Every, we also know, means multiplication. So we're just doing for every year, we're doing for 1 year. So for 1 year. And if we convert that into an expression, we will have 0.05, since I'm moving my decimal point, times 400 times 1 year. And when we further evaluate that, we get $20. So we have, it says how much money would the bank give her after 1 year? They're giving us $20. Step B says how much money would the bank give her after 3 years? So again, we're going to use 5% of 400, but this time we're doing it for 3 years. So when I substitute, I'm going to get 0.05 times 400 times 3. And we get $20 times 3, which is $60. Pretty simple. Step C now asks how much money would the bank give her if she only kept it in the bank for 6 months? So again, we have that same rate. We're still earning 5% of 400. This time we're earning it for 6 months. Now, here's the thing. If we take a look at step B, okay, let me choose a different color so I can highlight this. If we take a look at step B, it says 3. What does this 3 represent? It represents 3 years. Now, in step A, what does this 1 represent? 1 year. So if we go down to step B and we continue doing things like we were, if we write 0.05 times 400 times 6, what is this 6 representing? It's representing 6 years. And I don't want to do that. I want 6 months. So what I have to do is I have to convert it to months. And I know that, or convert it to years, I'm sorry. I know that 6 months is half of a year. So I'm going to write half. And in my next step, I just want to work with decimals since I already have decimals going on. So I have 0.5. And when we evaluate that, we get 20 times 0.5, which is the same as dividing by 2. We get $10. So based on all of this, right, step C says how much money would the bank give her? Step B, how much money would the bank give her? How much money would the bank give her in step A? It looks like simple interest is what? How can we boil down simple interest? It's something that we're earning. It could also be something that we owe as well. But we'll get into that for the interaction with new material. Right now, we're going to copy down for our key point, simple interest. Simple interest measures. Oh, I'm going to fix that. That's pretty sloppy. Measures the amount of money earned over time. And in this case, it has to do with an investment, like a bank account is an investment, or it could have to do with a loan too. So I'm going to add in a loan or investment. And based on what we just did, there's actually a formula for this. After you copy that down, if you recognize we're always using 5%, we're always using 400, we're always using the amount of time. What we're doing is we're going to name these things so that we can write out a formula for it. The 400, this is the initial amount. In this case, it's called the principal. So we're doing our principal, let's name it P, okay, times our rate, our percentage, right, our rate times our time. And if we do our principal times our rate times our time, we will get our interest. So you can even write that in the key point box. This is our new formula that we're working with. Interest equals principal times rate times time. And you're going to want to write out these full words as well somewhere, wherever you got room. And now that we have this, we can now try our interaction with new material. So let's scroll down. It says, Samantha spends $875 over the holiday break on gifts for friends, airplane tickets, food, and a hotel. She put everything on her credit card, which charges 2.35% simple interest monthly. What will the cost be for her holiday trip if she pays off her credit card in 1 year? So also I'm going to circle the word total. So let's go ahead and annotate this a little bit. Since we have our formula, actually let me write that down first. We have our principal times our rate times our time is going to equal our interest. Let's annotate for these different variables. Our principal would be our initial deposit. This would be our principal. Our rate would be the percentage that we're given. This would be our rate. And the amount of time now. We're given monthly. We're also given 1 year. So we know that we need to calculate it for 1 year. But can I just put 1 as the time? What should the time be in terms of? It says that the time should be in terms of months because it's given monthly. So we need to put this 1 year in terms of months. 1 year is equal to 12 months. So I'm going to use 12. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug this in. We have our principal, which is $875, times our rate, which is 2.35%, times our time, which is 12 months. And that should be your interest. And now you're going to see why I still have my units written in here. We have 875, that doesn't change, but this has to change because we want to make it a decimal when we're multiplying. That's why I write my units. And then we have 12 months, which equals 5. So when I plug this into my calculator, I like to do it piece by piece. So we're going to do 875 times 0.0235, and we get 20.5625. And then we're going to multiply that by 12. When we multiply by 12, we get $246.80. and 75 cents. And that's our interest. Does it answer the question? It says, what will be the total cost of her holiday trip if she pays off her credit card in 1 year? This is just our interest. See, so what do we have to do with the interest? Our key points that it's something that's earned over time. So we actually have to add it to what she already spent. She spent, looks like, $875. And in addition to that, also racked up this much money. So we add it together, and then we're going to get our final cost of $1,121.75. And now to make sure that we do this right every single time, we're going to write our criteria for success together right underneath here. So let's scroll down, pick up my blue pen, and here we go. So number 1, of course, we're always going to annotate. For this, we're going to annotate 4. We annotated for the principal amount, or the initial amount. Oh, I spelled that completely wrong. Principal, there we go. Our interest rate. Our time. And then sometimes the problem is just going to give you the I, and you have to plug in for other things. So also annotate for the interest if they give it to you. Annotate for whatever they give you. Number 2, we have to write our formula. Write our simple interest formula. And lastly, we know when we have a formula written, we need to substitute and evaluate. There's just one more thing I do want to add to this, because depending on the problem, the answer will be the interest or not. Reread the problem so you know that you're answering what it needs. So reread or the question, because this one just asked us for the total. We had to go back and add right here. But as long as you follow these 4 steps, you will get it right every single time. You guys are going to do great.